We are live. All right. Episode 119, everybody. Welcome back to the Our Religion podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Miguel.
And you are obviously either watching or listening to this very uninteresting podcast.
Whoa, hold up.
I apologize that you're going to be wasting the next hour or roughly hour and a half of your life on us. There are so many better things, so many more productive things you could be doing, like taking a walk.
Actually, no, you came to the right place.
Watering
You
your
are here for a reason,
plants.
and we thank you for staying tuned every week to listen to our voices bore you with information that you've probably seen, but we will dissect for you because you probably are like, I'll probably pick up an article on that. And then you're like, forget because life happens. And then here we are on Wednesday, on a fine Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. in your ear, either on your commute to work or probably, during breakfast or lunch. And here we are talking movies and just making things more entertaining because the world does sometimes get boring. And here we are as your entertainment.
The world does get boring. But yeah, if you're listening, again, we apologize. But definitely do not subscribe to the YouTube channel. Definitely do not subscribe to youtube.com/@ourreligion. Like, definitely do not do that. Definitely do not share.
Are we gaslighting our listeners now?
We're using reverse psychology here. So definitely do not subscribe to the YouTube
channel. This is literally gaslighting. Okay, all right. Yeah, do not.
/@ourreligion. Do not share this podcast to any of your friends or families. Don't follow us on Instagram @ourreligion or on Twitter @ourworldpod or even on TikTok @ourreligion. Like, do not do any of that because we're trying to gatekeep this podcast. If it blows up,
if this blows up, it's not going to be as good. You know what it's going to turn into be?
We're going to be sellouts.
We're going to be sellouts. We're going to be suddenly called influencers.
Yep.
Like, that sucks.
Do not, I repeat, do any of that what we just mentioned. But in all seriousness, thank you guys for coming back to the podcast. This is the last week of quote unquote officially single week content because
we got my god,
Monday,
super exciting.
We have the premiere of Movie News Monday, June 5th. Movie News Monday is coming to you, episode 1. It's probably gonna just be look like the podcast but shorter. Very, very different.
I'm excited for it for Adam. Like, super exciting for it.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited to be doing it. But yeah, and then later in the month of June, at a later date, we do have TV Inquiry coming out as well. So that's also super excited. And
keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye. That's the biggest thing. Keep an eye out because there's so much coming out. And if you already don't know, we have a 2-week episode this week. For this, so today, or as you're listening to today, you obviously have the normal podcast, but Friday we have the spoiler review for Across the Spider-Verse. Everybody knows we're stupid excited for it if you've been listening to this podcast. Because there's so much. We talked about it a little bit last week where they leaked the thumbnail, an updated thumbnail on Amazon Prime, and now officially got released to the public by Sony. So we're super excited for that.
Yeah, I actually saw that thumbnail on my TV Prime, like on my Amazon stick, like maybe a week ago before I think we talked about it. So I was like also surprised too, but actually it was probably the same day when we were talking about the thumbnail, which if you don't remember, it's a thumbnail that includes Miles Morales, who's going to be in the upcoming Across the Spider-Verse, who's also the lead of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, featured next to Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So
pretty interesting stuff if we don't say so myself. But we got an interesting episode for you today because we got Andrew, or excuse me, the director of a Flash has addressed whether Ezra Miller will be recast it. We got an update on characters in Spider-Verse, who's playing who. We got an official update from somebody on the production of Kenobi, who was opened up about possible season 2. How to Train Your Dragon finds its leads.
Yes.
Deadpool 3 is shooting, but there is kind of like an asterisk with it. And then lastly, we have the official Barbie lineup that has been announced.
For the soundtrack.
Yeah, for this soundtrack. So it's a pretty good lineup. Pretty excited to be talking about that because it's pretty good, except for one specific artist on there. So yeah.
What?
You if you've seen it, you already know who I'm talking about.
I'm
So
guessing like a couple, maybe. Oh, I already know which one.
yeah.
I already know which one.
So
I already know which one. Oh
we're
my
so that is
god.
part 2 of that style of me just being upset. So yeah. Point is, to start off the show, specifically, obviously we have the box office because film came out, The Little Mermaid. We're gonna find out where that lands. Did you get a chance to see it?
Oh my god. No, I haven't
Neither
yet.
have
Can you
I.
believe it's been a week?
I know.
I was like, I've been avoiding spoilers, but no, I've been hearing really, really good things. And I will at some point probably catch a showing either next Friday. No, this Friday
Hmm.
when the second episode drops, or maybe that Thursday. I'm not too sure. I might do a double feature.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. You say spoilers, but like, what could be spoiled?
I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, just in terms of like everything that goes on, everything is like
Like,
I'm just super excited for this movie because of
no,
Hallie.
it looks really good. It does look really good.
Yeah, I was seeing some behind the scenes featurette on Entertainment Tonight
Hmm.
or Entertainment Weekly, and they were showing some behind the scenes of filming and how they had Hallie like on a harness, like practicing her mermaid moves, and how they basically have her in a mermaid costume, but they have her adjusted like by the waist, so that way she can actually like slant across the scenes, and then she has her pointers with like Gutter and the other one. I forget who they are.
Are you talking about
Um,
Flounder?
yeah, Flounder, and then what's the bird's name?
That I don't know.
I think that's the one, Gutter.
Possibly. Everybody knows
Maybe
Flounder
I
though.
could be wrong, but yeah,
Could
I
be.
mean,
We're gonna get
at the end of the
butchered by a
day,
bunch of Disney adults in this on this episode for not knowing.
oh please don't even start.
I used to
You guys are
be
adults.
I was a Disney adult. I'm not anymore. I do not own a pass. Can't be one anymore.
You know what that is?
What?
Growth.
I do want to pass though. Again, I'm gonna be honest. I do want to pass, but not anytime soon. Let's get into the box office. Coming in at number 5 for the box office of May 26th to May 28th. This doesn't include Memorial Day, which was Monday. This is just normal weekend. Obviously, it is, but for a lot of films, I know on
That
if
Memorial Day kind of does push a little thing, especially because everyone's off this previous Monday. So that means that
yeah,
that money will probably kind of correlate onto the next following week, take into account.
no, yeah,
But we'll
definitely.
see. This Memorial Day for me, at least, was very slow.
Yeah, same here. I had a
I'm not
hard
sure
day.
where the people are at. They're probably at home, probably at the backyard doing the cookout. Maybe they're at the beach, maybe they're at the park. San Diego's been having an overcast problem. We've been getting the sun for at least 3 hours a day, and then it's going back into its cloudy mist. So we've been kind of getting some weird Pacific
June
Northwest
gloom is
weather
upon
recently.
us. June gloom.
I feel like it started earlier because we had like April showers
No
or
Mayflowers.
May showers. Is it April showers or May
It's
showers?
April showers, May flowers, and June
May
gloom.
flowers. Yeah, we didn't get none of the flowers. We got the flowers back in March. It
Ah,
was beautiful. And then we got like early, yeah, we're just all distorted. But continue on, Adam.
No,
What's
yeah.
coming at number five?
Coming in at number five is a film that recently just came out. It's called The Machine. It made 5 million over the weekend. The movie is about Bert's drunken past catches up to him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk on a college semester abroad in Russia. I want to say Mark Hamill's in this film. Um,
Oh yeah, and it has that lead guy, the what's his name? He is a stand-up comedian.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking it up right
Yeah,
now.
it's Bert Jews. Here we go.
Should have this pulled up. So we got Bert Kreischer, or if I said it right, Jimmy Tardo. We have Stephanie Kurtazuba, obviously Mark Hamill. Jess Gaber is in it, as well as Mercedes de la Cruz. Iva Babak, Martin Ford. Um, those are all the credited main actors. Looks like it's a comedy though.
It is a comedy.
Oh yeah, yeah, comedy and adventure. I do want to see it. It looked pretty good. But that
I
comes in at
mean, if
number.
Mark Hamill played my dad and he's in the majority of the movie, I'd probably go see it.
Yeah, definitely. But that made $5 million over the weekend. Since then, it's made an additional $900,000. Domestically, it is dominating its box office at 5.8 million, and internationally only $70,000. Coming in at number four, Super Mario Bros. Making $6.4 million again, leaving it at $1.2 billion, just completely dominating. But again, it's capping out at 1.2 billion, which is incredible. Sequel after sequel after sequel, pretty much, with all the money that it's made. Coming in at number three is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, making $20.8 million, bringing the grand total up to $743 million. Still 300 domestically and 437 of that being international. Coming in at number two is Fast X at $23 million, now at $520 million worldwide, 113 being domestic, 406 of that being international. It's insane the splits on this for Fast X.
What do you mean?
Because it has close to 80 international and 20% of it being domestic.
Mm,
Only 113 domestically. Is probably not what they were expecting. Um, you
it's
know,
because of how it's because honestly, it's because of how bad things got with nine.
thought,
I think nine kind of lost the people and
mm-hmm.
their interest. And then with 10 following the same formula as Infinity War, it only caught on with so much. But people are still watching this movie. Oh, but almost everybody that I've talked to that's seen this movie has the same issue with it.
I mean, but it's a step up from the last couple
It is a step
films.
up from the last one, but
Uh,
some people are, are still with like,
and that's 100% fine how they feel. You know,
at the end of the day, this movie's going to get two more movies added. Like,
so
it's,
so they say. You know, we know one at least confirmed. Um,
yeah, I
but I
mean, it
mean,
has to, because with how Fast X left things, it's for sure. Like,
one at least one more
yeah,
cliffhanger. But I mean any box office of 520 million is not bad at all. Some films dream of doing something like that. This is just low for the Fast X, or for the family.
franchise.
Yeah, so it's just like so obviously a little concerning, but obviously they're gonna get a bump in the last two because they're the last ones. Everybody knows that. So I mean, hey, that's unfortunate, but I mean the splits are insane. Coming in at number one with no surprise is The Little Mermaid at $95.6 million. It's made 197 million since. 180 of that, or excuse me, 118 being domestic, and 78 million of that being international. Little Mermaid, wow, coming
Wow.
in number
Yeah,
one.
man, it made money.
Yeah.
It made a really good money, and almost everyone is praising this movie for being the best live adaptation to date.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I'm
I've been seeing those reviews consistently, and everyone is also commenting on the lead's chemistry and how beautiful Hallie is as Ariel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm a little concerned on its drop off for next week. Because one, you obviously have Across the Spider Verse. Next week, the summer season feels like it started last week with the Fast and Furious franchise. Films are just going to be constantly cycled in and out. So I'm concerned on where this film is going to have a drop off, especially with the Flash. The week after Transformers. It's just like movie after movie after movie after movie this summer season. So it's a little concerning, in my opinion, with The Little Mermaid. I don't think it's gonna do as well as Disney probably hoped.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but let's move into topic number one. The director of Flash, Andy Muschietti, he came and addressed the issue of if Ezra Miller will be recasted if the film gets a sequel. He came on to say, I don't think there's anybody who can play the character as well as they did. Interesting to say. Um,
Interesting for sure. I mean, damn, with everything going on with Ezra Miller, I feel like the only end game for him is to get recasted. But if the director's saying that, I don't understand. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, did he like my question to you is just like, do you feel like he just confirmed a sequel before even
so this is from the playlist, and it's rated by Charles Barfield. It's been posted actually May 30th. Um, and it states in an upcoming episode of the Discourse podcast, which will be released close to the film's debut,
Mhm.
filmmaker Andy Machete and his producer partner Barbara Machete raved about Ezra Miller's performance as Barry Allen in The Flash. In fact, when asked if there's a chance if Miller could be replaced in a sequel, considering all the issues that the actor has experienced in their personal life, Andy Machete feels that there isn't anyone else who can take over the role and do a better job. Therefore, if a sequel is made and the Machetes are involved, Ezra Miller will star. So, in a sense, it's basically kind of saying that Machete will work with him again because he and his vision can only see Ezra as the Flash.
Mhm.
But I feel like that discredits completely the CW's version of the Flash, who has common contact with Ezra Miller's Barry Allen,
Yeah.
and who is also hanging up his costume too because the Flash, the CW Flash is ending.
Yeah. Oh, it
There,
ended last week actually.
it ended, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's room for opportunity for that actor um, to come into the role of Barry Allen if he wants to, because also too he has been playing as Barry Allen for such a long time. Grant Gustin, and he's done fantastic. And he has shared his appeal to, play the Flash, but
Yeah.
whether or not the actor wants to continue that route of a superhero is up to him. The article continues saying, if a sequel happens, yes, Andy Machete said about Miller returning for another Flash film, I don't think there's anyone that can play that character as well as they did. Other depictions of the character are great, but this particular version of the character, they just excelled in doing it. And as you said, the two berries, it feels like a character that was made for them.
Mhm.
Barbara Machete added, in principal photography, Ezra was brilliant and the most committed and the most professional actor. Ezra gave everything for this role. Physically, creatively, emotionally, they were absolute supreme. Um, and this is again judging solely by the early reactions to the film. People are generally in agreement that Miller turns in a great performance. Unfortunately, for many film fans, a great performance doesn't redeem an actor who has been the subject of some pretty disturbing allegations. The actor has issued statements about getting mental health help, but there hasn't been any word about what might happen if there's a Flash sequel. I personally feel like they should just throw him out, but I also feel like
It's
it's
it's a PR statement.
it is a
Like
PR
that,
statement.
it's such a like, oh, like, I'm entrusting in him, and we're gonna, just so there's no like, it's, in my opinion, it's like you can't obviously mention you can't mention the issues that Ezra Miller has had prior, so obviously you're gonna stick by your actor, but like you say, it's just like somebody with like Grant Gustin, it's just like, I feel like at this point it's like almost like just like a dead it's like watering a dead flower mentioning Grant Gustin, just because it's just like, is it the safe choice to do it? Yeah, but like, at the end of the day, like, does he want to continue? I mean, obviously he's gonna get that pay bump from doing a full length film as opposed to episode with the TV show,
Right.
so it's just like, obviously I feel like
There's
with
more incentive there for sure.
100%. There's more exposure to that. With him, like in his position, it's just like, he's been doing the Flash close to 10 years. Um, so it's just like part of him may want to move on to films, it's just like to be committed to a TV show for that long, it's just like that's a lot to do.
Of course. And also he doesn't probably don't want to be typecast either.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's a possibility of that as well. But I think at the end of the day, like if Warner Brothers came and offered him a fat paycheck to play the Flash to replace Ezra Miller, nobody's gonna bat an eye.
Yeah. If anything,
So
people will rejoice, I feel.
fans of the Flash will.
Yeah, definitely.
hmm Um, but
What's clear is that if the machetes are attached to the project and if there's a sequel and if the film does get acclaimed, critically acclaimed, and also makes billion-dollar territory, then the CEO, now CEO James Gunn and Saffron are going to have to rethink their strategy all in all in terms of whether they can keep him and move on with a forward sequel. But that's all just speculation at this point. It's to be determined at this point. TBD.
yeah, no, definitely. Moving on to the next topic, both Andy Sandberg and Amandla Stenberg have officially been casted in their roles, are officially been announced as who they're going to be voicing in Across the Spider-Verse. This comes from the Spider-Verse social media directly. Andy Sandberg has officially been confirmed as Ben Reilly, the clone Peter Parker, and Stenberg has been confirmed as Spider-Bite, who is I think her world is the one where they are like digital. It's like a cyberspace style of virtual like identities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty cool. I mean, for those who are not unfamiliar with uh, Ben Riley, basically he is a clone, as Adam stated, Peter Parker, who was grown in the lab by the supervillain the Jackal with the purpose of going up against the original Spider-Man. However, the two become allies instead, and the character first appears in the comics of the Amazing Spider-Man in 1975. But this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will be the first time this Scarlet Spider will be first appearing on screen. So
yeah,
that's exciting. That's really, really, really exciting. I love
definitely.
his character design. I've always loved it.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. Isn't that a skin that you can get in the game?
Yes, and I'm glad you bring that up because we got gameplay of the sec of Spider-Man 2 last week, the day we released last week's episode.
The showcase, the
But
gameplay, the Sonic, that was incredible. Just that it's not entirely a tangent, but I mean, I guess
no, you're
Spider-Man
good.
news, incredible, 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 incredible
Yeah.
gameplay. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. It's like 15 minutes long. It's actual gameplay with cutscenes included. You see the Venom spider.
The black
You
suit
see
of
Venom,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
the symbiote on Peter
Insidious. Yeah.
Parker. Which fun fact, the voice actor who plays Peter Parker in the game stated that he actually researched people with addictions
Yeah, I saw that, which
to
is
kind of like get more of that level personality in order for him to be like to kind of get more in character with the Peter Parker that is, you know, attached to the symbiote.
yeah.
And that's incredible depth to add to, especially when it's just, you know, even though a part there's probably motion capture involved,
Hmm.
he is also voicing him and giving this version of Peter Parker a new level of depth and probably a new version that we haven't seen before. And I'm really excited to check that out.
And a cool thing about this is if you haven't played the game, that's completely fine. You're gonna be exposed to him
But what are you doing?
in yeah, no, really, really, you're gonna be exposed to him in Across the Spider Verse, because the voice actor Yuri Lowenthal is in Across the Spider Verse, so that's pretty awesome. Obviously, I know we've been talking about. I'm super excited for Across the Spider Verse. Like I'm like, it's been way too long. It's been 5 years since the last one.
I kept thinking it's like a 2020 release, but you always bring me back saying that it's 2018. And I'm just
Yeah.
like shocked.
So Spider Verse, Into the Spider Verse, and Spider Man PS4 were both released in 2018, and they're finally getting their long-awaited sequels this year.
Respectively, that's
Respectively,
insane.
it is a little different because we did have Spider Man Miles Morales, which came out on PS5, so there is that little bit
Right.
of a gap where there's expanded. Excuse me,
And also
expanded
the
story.
remaster for Spider-Man for the PS5 as well. That was also brought into light.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're more familiar with the gaming universe as we are opposed to getting the next installment of into the end of the Spider Verse. I'm just stupidly excited for this sequel tomorrow. Um, but no, yeah, I mean I'm pretty excited. I mean anything with Andy Samberg, like sign me up just because of how funny he is.
he's always
Um,
been hilarious. Freaking
yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine
yeah,
is one of the shows you definitely watch and you just like love immediately. I mean, apart from the fact that it's like kind of like it's a kind of a mockumentary. It is a mockumentary
hmm,
about, you know, the police force. It's still pretty good, and the writing is fantastic, and the actors are great too.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
It feels like Parks and Rec goes police
Yeah, yeah, for
because
sure.
there's some like archetypes in there in terms of character development and characters that they have that are similar to the gang in the Pawnee Parks Department.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Last small topic before we get into the three big ones. Deborah Chow, who is the director of Obi-Wan Kenobi, has officially said season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't planned. This was conceived as a limited series. It is closed. I'm gonna be honest. I absolutely it's a pet peeve of mine now at this point when directors say, "Oh, these characters are done because I'm leaving the project or I'm no longer involved or anything like that."
But is
Or
that what she's saying though?
no, but she is saying that hey, it was conceived as a limited series. It is closed. Like there's no reopening the door. I hate when directors come and say projects are done. Like I hate that
I
because
understand that part. I do.
I
I
think
hate it, especially when there's when if for me, if and only if there's more room to explore with the character or the universe, if that makes sense.
I feel like this is a situation where there is definitely
Yeah,
uh
but then there's all this story with like the Clone Wars and like Rebels
yeah,
and all of that, you know, like there is a continuation. There was just that gap that we didn't know of. And then even then too, it did feel limited as well. Like, yes, it was a
yeah,
limited series, but within the realm of that, it was still pretty limited. Like we only got a little bit of Obi-Wan and we
mm-hmm,
only got 8 episodes. Like that was upsetting. I
yeah.
wanted 10.
Yeah, no, really. This is how I look. This is how I feel about it. I think of it as like the situation of like No Way Home. Okay, like you get these old characters back, come reprise their roles, right? And it feels so special. And this is what I'm referring to as Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor coming back, reprising their roles, right? And so when you do it once and it feels special, okay? You don't want to immediately do it again because then it really just takes away from the first time you did it. You know, so it's just like maybe it's not planned down the road, but I hate the term like it's closed. Like I hate that because it's just like okay, You're gonna tell me if Disney's like, hey, we can't come up with anything original for Star Wars. We need something. Boom. Let's do Kenobi season 2 because it's that easy. All we need is some sort of story on why Vader is hunting. We don't even need a reason why Vader is actually is looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. The story tells itself. You just need to put it. You just need to map it out. So it's just like it's just like I hate the idea. It's like, oh, it's done. It's a one-time thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. Us
It
fans have said
it
we want Kenobi. Us fans have said we want a Mandalorian bounty hunter show. It's just
right.
like we want an open world Star Wars game. The fans they
And it's
ultimately
there,
want.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's been delivered, and it's done. Like it's done in the sense that, listen, you got to let these characters go,
No.
because then these characters, like their originality, the reason why we love these characters in the first place, kind of dissipates after a while. Because they're no longer what we think they are. They're no longer serving their original purpose. They're just being exploited in a sense to just be new and relevant. And at the end of the day, we need new Obi-Wan Kenobi. We need a new Luke Skywalker. We need a new Anakin. We need a new Darth Vader. Not a new in the sense where like it's the same version of them, but a more advanced and a new story for Star Wars. Personally, I feel. And that's why I feel like Rebels worked so much,
Yeah, for sure.
because Rebels was a continuation of the Clone Wars in a sense, with the remnants of the Clone Wars as well, with the remnants of the original trilogy and the prequels, and everything in between. And it still had so much heart. And you loved Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller. Oh my God, why I say that? Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra, Kanan, Hera, all them, Sabine.
Ezra, Kanan, yeah, Sabine, we're super excited. We wouldn't shut up about Sabine
Yeah.
in the previous episodes of our Real Addiction, talking about the Mandalorian season 3. We were like, all roads lead to Sabine, and unfortunately, all roads led just back to Mandalore.
Yeah.
And even then, till fans still tearing season 3 apart about how it was like no sense of correlation whatsoever, how Mando was sidelined and everything. I think that is what needs attention right now.
Yeah.
And maybe Deborah Cho's probably focusing on that. I think there is that. I love that nostalgia of it, but we need to have like new stories now in. The universe is set. Those are the origins. Those are like Genesis, basically. That's Genesis right there.
Yeah. I think yeah, it's just like I just hate like when directors come out and like open their mouths. Like when like then like because like it's not this is we're seeing it in more often theme, especially like what James Gunn said, like, oh well, this is the last time you're seeing my characters on screen.
Yeah, that
Like
is
I
pretty upsetting,
hate
because it's like it's only convenient for like Chris Pratt's character, like Star Lord
yeah.
will return. For those who don't,
I guess because like
might know, yeah.
it sounds very like egotistic in my opinion. Like it's like dude, like you're not. Yeah, like I understand you brought these characters to life, but especially like someone like Deborah Chow who didn't understand the story of Obi-Wan and didn't understand the story of Vader, in any way, and for them to go like, oh well, we felt like their fight at the end is him fully becoming Vader. It's just like, dude.
But it's not solely Deborah Chow's fault. It's the
Yeah,
whole
a lot of
production.
it
Like,
has to
you
do
got
with the
the
writers.
writers in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too. You gotta think about the collaborations
You're right.
involved. You gotta think about
I
going back to that. Like
I'm
right
gonna
now, that I
retract
mean,
that
that's probably
statement.
why too that the writer strike is happening and is still continuing happening, because there's a disagreement going on,
Hmm.
and they need to focus on making sure these writers are paid, because then at that point too, you might get an Obi-Wan Kenobi show season 2, and it might be completely trash,
Yeah.
just because you don't have creative minds to actually care and know the mythology, as opposed to just being like, look, the fans are asking for it. They're going to eat it up. They're going to subscribe. They're going to make their money. And at the end of the day, these writers are still going to be underpaid, and then we're going to get a shit show.
100%. Um, but yeah, really quick, I'll retract that statement on Deborah Chow, just because everything she's done for The Mandalorian directing is fantastic. Again, it's not her fault. Some things don't come out fully executed. I just hate when directors just come out and speak like this. Like if they have the final say. I think that's my
Like,
biggest
yeah,
thing.
like if
You
the
know,
fate
like
is up to them. At the end of the
yeah,
day,
like
sometimes like it sucks because they get the back burner of things when the studios are right there. They're like, they're the ones to blame.
mhm.
They're the ones who are underpaying everybody, or they're the ones who are like holding or gatekeeping projects just because they're like, maybe right now is not the money move. Let's
Yeah.
wait a couple another 10 years and then release it. Like we've had this plan, but then let's just make it like it's been up like in recent development, you know?
No, 100%. Moving on to our first main topic, number one. Do you want to go ahead and take this one?
This is
The
point me, I'm sorry, guy.
How to Train Your Dragon. We're finishing. We're kicking. We're ending with Barbie.
Right.
So we got three more. So we have How to Train Your
Oh,
Dragon.
we have yes, we have Deadpool.
That's second. So that's after How to Train Your Dragon. Did you want to take?
Sorry.
Which one do you want?
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay. So How to Train Your Dragon finds its leads with Mason Thames and Nico Parker. Who will start? Mason Thames will be Hiccup and Nico Parker will be Astrid. For those who may are listening to this and thinking, oh, maybe I've heard of these names before. Mason Thames is recently popular for a child actor who was recently popular for The Black Phone. If you guys haven't seen that movie, go check it out, especially because like thrillers, it is borderline disturbing in some elements because it does involve child kidnapping, and murder. And then Nico Parker, who was an excellent first star for The Last of Us episode 1, who played Joel's daughter Sarah. These are the names and these are the faces of the really anticipated How to Train Your Dragon's live action, which is, I know a lot of people have a huge heart
Yeah.
for this series, that it's probably one of the best trilogies in animation to date as well.
It holds up. The third one made me so sad. Like I was so sad when the third one came out because it's just so good and it wraps up the story so nicely.
I've heard every single movie is a hit.
Yes,
Like
yeah,
there is not a bad like a trilogy altogether. It's fantastic. Um, Pretty big shoes to fill in.
I don't know. I would disagree on that. I would disagree on
Really,
that. Yeah,
in
I
terms of
don't
voice or
want to
just
say
like story.
don't get me wrong. The voice actor is I forget. I always forget his last name.
I'm not a
But
fan of him, bro.
I
It's
okay.
Jay.
Hold
It's
on.
Jay Baruchel, and I just, you know why I can't stand him, and I'm so sorry.
Uh huh.
Um,
Why?
it's because this is the end.
Oh, he's funny in
Oh,
that.
I know he plays a version that's not his actual version,
hmm
but oh my god, did I think Jay was such a bitch? I
Yeah.
hated him.
Yeah.
He was so annoying and such an asshole. But my girl America Ferrera, I love her as Astrid. That will
Yeah.
be of course.
The only
Hopefully they make cameos in this.
I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. The only reason I will say there's not really big of shoes to fill is because they're all they did was serve the voices. How to Train Your Dragon isn't like something like Star Wars, whereas like Ahsoka Tano is Ashley Eckstein. Obviously, it's just like for example, Rosie O'Dawson had big shoes to fill with Ahsoka.
100%. Yeah.
So like
Yeah, that
there's
makes sense.
that.
Yeah.
The How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, they're fantastic films, but I think Mason Thames and Nico Parker are they are. I think these are going to be breakout roles for them in terms of like it's not. You don't have necessarily big shoes to fill. There are some shoes to fill because of how respected they are. Big shoes to fill would be, in my opinion, would be like rebooting Shrek and be like, hey, it's not going to be Mike Myers,
Oh yeah,
voicing
for sure.
Shrek. Those
That's
are big shoes
difficult.
to fill. I think this is their night. I think this is a good opportunity for them to,
Yeah.
uh,
For honestly, his debut was actually in the Black Phone
mhm,
because everything else are TV series.
mhm.
And that was his lead role. He was in this and he did a fantastic job against a stellar cast, which includes for the Black Phone includes
Wasn't it
um,
Ethan Hawke?
Jeremy Davies, Ethan Hawke, and then we have Troy Rudiskell, as well as E. Roger Mitchell, and then his co-star Madeline McGraw, who played his little sister and was amazing. He's only 15 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and now he has another second lead. I'm really excited for him. I think we can expect good things. Child actors are kind of hit and miss for me. Sometimes they're really great, sometimes they're really annoying, sometimes they get what they can, and they do. But I'm excited for him. And Nico Parker just sold the crap out of her role as Sarah in just
Yeah.
that one episode. She broke our hearts. We fell in love with her. There was so much characterization. And again, that all deals with how much love and creation and time it took for them to build the world of Last of Us and to give more character background to this person who we already knew her fate prior to the show airing. Um, but I mean, so far it's in development. For those who are wondering, it will be directed by Dean Du Bois and is also written by Dean Du Bois. And so far, that's as far as we know. It's obviously early stages of development, but we're aiming to see this movie by 2025.
I think it's spring 2025.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, I think they'll be shooting next year. Probably 3 4 months.
Principal photography will probably start by the end of this year. They're probably just rehearsing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this world come to life.
Yeah,
I
me too.
wonder how they're
Me
gonna
too.
do the dragons. If they're gonna do them like Game of Stone, Game of Stone. What is going on with me today?
I really
Game of
hope.
Thrones style, or like, are they gonna make them cute, like more animated? Like,
Well, I really hope they use the voice actor for Toothless to go and play Toothless again. You know.
wait, isn't Toothless death, or
What do you
like
mean?
he doesn't have a voice?
No, I'm joking. That's the point. It's
Oh yeah,
over your head. That's fine. You
I'm
know,
so sorry.
no, it's all good. But I'm gonna be excited for this. It's just like these are the How to Train Your Dragon are really good films. I'd
DreamWorks, man.
I would love to see cameos from all the original cast, like because I think
Yeah,
Christopher McPleath is in there.
Kristen Wiig is in it as
Yeah,
well. You'll see T.J. Miller.
Yep.
Which by the way,
T.J. Miller, man.
T.J. Miller. I was watching Cloverfield the other day,
Uh huh.
and that was his first role, like his
Yeah.
first role in a movie.
It's funny because I had a buddy who had asked me, it's just like, hey, which is the Transformers where T.J. Miller gets killed? I was just like, oh, that's the fourth one. I was just like, it's the only one that that he's in. But no, yeah,
Was that Age of Extinction?
yeah, yeah, it is
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
the best one in my opinion.
That 3 hour mess.
No,
We
no,
saw it.
we did.
We
That is the
saw it.
stem of our
Like,
friendship right here, man.
no, I know. We were
Um,
stands. We were stands of that movie. I think, what
I
was it?
still am.
The dark, what was that? The night, the
The
last
last
night?
night. Yeah.
That was terrible.
No, yeah, but obviously, I mean, hey, I'm pretty excited. I'll be there opening night for sure for this film. Um,
I'll
uh,
be there too. We'll be there together.
hey, in the studio. Wait, what?
In the studio.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm tired of
But
seeing my curtains.
but moving on. Good news for Deadpool fans. Deadpool 3 is shooting. However, bad, quote unquote, bad news. I haven't read the article, but it does feel already misleading. Excuse me.
It could be clickbait, but
It feels like it. So apparently, as a credited writer on the film, Ryan Reynolds it reportedly won't be able to improvise any dialogue on set due to the ongoing writer's strike. So that is what Get Fandom tweeted. The actual article.
so from I pulled up a Phantom Wire,
Mhm.
and it's disappointing news about Ryan Reynolds' MCU debut as Deadpool. Actor gets banned from using his famous one-liners in Deadpool 3 amid strikes. So it's more along the lines of what made Ryan Reynolds enjoyable or like more in character or basically him playing himself as Deadpool. Um,
I don't know. I mean, like when I read this, it's just like, okay, like how are you gonna how are you gonna realistically prevent that though?
what it's the article is saying is that the problem that lies at the core of the matter is the Deadpool IP is inherently tied to the identity of Ryan Reynolds, and without the aid of his witty quips delivered on the fly while filming, the character and films wouldn't have been as successful. I don't think that's true.
I think it's
I
true to
mean,
some
it's
small extent.
it could be to an extent.
I think it's. I feel like, in my opinion, this is just something hard you can't like, because like if he's out there going and throwing in one liners. Here's the thing: when the writer strikes end, they're not gonna have those deleted footage of those one liners. You know what's gonna happen? They're going to go and be able to use those one liners. So there's, in my opinion, I feel like there's ways around it. Two takes.
They can film it and then edit it out later,
Yeah.
and then once there's agreement, edit it back in.
Exactly. So I feel like there's that way
But
around
is
it.
there something? I mean, is there like a? Is it more towards he? Is it more heat towards Ryan Reynolds if he does do it or if he doesn't?
I would say no, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna know if he's improvising stuff on the
Because
spot.
the writers won't be present, so that
Yeah.
means that's kind of hard because he is the actor and also the writer. So it's like, bro,
Yeah, but you have to remember too, he's also a credited writer on the film. So he's not just there as an actor, he's also there in the booth when he's talking, cuz you have to remember too, Sean Levy is the one who's directing this film. He has worked with Ryan Reynolds before. The chemistry between the two and the relationship between the two is really good. So it's just like, I feel like Sean Levy is smart enough to know how to go about that. And I also do think, yeah, as much as a jokester as Ryan Reynolds is, he is also smart enough to know that there are ways around this. I just feel like this is like something that's so uncontrollable. Like for him, like, oh, you can't do your one-liners.
yeah,
Those come naturally.
it's like, but it's like they're ad libs.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
written in, so it's like
Exactly.
I don't understand that issue.
It's such a clickbait, like, and even like not the article per se, not just the tweet in the article, but
It's
like,
just like the headline itself.
yeah, it's just like why you were clearly just doing this just to get talked about.
I think it's
Um,
adding to the pressure of the fact that the fear of some shows and movies being ruined because of the writer's strike.
that's a good point.
I think that's I think that that's its foundation and what it's aiming for and what it's putting because a lot of people were hyped, especially having bringing back Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
Now it would suck and be completely detrimental, especially when it's the MCU debut of Deadpool
yeah,
and Hugh Jackman to be a sucky movie.
yeah. I think there's
You
just
know,
easy ways around this.
there is that way. I mean, there are probably more logistics to it, but that could be it. Also, there's been editing all the time before. There's plenty of reshoots that could happen as well.
100%, 100%. That's another thing too. I
It's
think,
just it would just prolong the movie.
yeah,
At the end of the day, we just wish this strike does end soon in the sense that where every one of the writers is happy and the studios meet their demands.
yeah,
That is what we want.
yeah. Justice
Because
for
yeah,
our
it's gonna
fine
suck.
writers.
Like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me? It did switch a lot. Like, oh, and then there was a lot of recent news about how behind the scenes of the show Lost, there was a lot of racism in the early developments of the
It
show
it
and the
sucks.
seasons.
Early like 2000 shows have just so much bad like history, because obviously we've heard about all the stuff in Nickelodeon, with Dan
Right.
Schneider, everything, the Disney stuff that has come out recently, in the last couple years, of how they were mistreating the child actors. Even the early like CW stuff with like One Tree Hill and how much of a toxic environment that was, especially with the creator Mark Schwann, who ended up being a complete weirdo.
Right.
It's such a it's it, The writers, obviously, when something like that, a little different with the situation on the writer strike, but it sucks because like something. I mean, again, to kind of circle back to like with Deadpool, I just think like it's kind of impossible just to prevent something, Ryan Reynolds just simply being Ryan Reynolds, um, you know, but
Right.
yeah,
Damn.
we got one last topic.
Final fun pink topic.
So I can go ahead off and I'll read them. I'll make sure and include everybody.
Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Are you now?
so we got the official artist on the soundtrack of Barbie, and it includes Ava Max, Charlie XCX, Dominic Fike, Dua Lipa, 50/50, Gail. I think it's pronounced Haim or Haim. You also got Ice Spice, Callie, Carol G, Khalid, Nicki Minaj, Pink Pantheress, Ryan Gosling, Tame Impala, and the Kid Laroi. More Barbies and Kens to be announced. So that's everybody. I did not miss anybody at all. That is of importance. Oh, and I guess Lizzo's also going to be on this.
I knew.
Um,
I was like, I'm waiting on you to say something.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, Lizzo is gonna be a part of this. So I will be not seeing this movie now because she is a part of it. She went and ruined Star Wars.
She's a part of the soundtrack.
She went and ruined Star Wars. She is now going to ruin
She
Barbie.
is no, she's literally part of the soundtrack.
She ruined my favorite Chinese.
She's gotta make a banger.
Spot.
The Dua Lipa banger is already good, and then we're gonna get Ryan Gosling probably singing a Ken song,
singing City of Stars.
Singing.
Lala fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and then we're going to find Emma Stone as a Barbie in there at some point.
What if? Here's something interesting. The soundtrack's going to be available the 21st. I mean, other than like, okay, because like Ice Spice, that's pretty cool. Khalid is pretty cool. Nicki Minaj, Pink Panther. I think like the biggest, like the Thor sum is Tame Impala. Like
that one is
and I'm just like, okay.
One. Yeah, like to have Tame Impala and a Barbie soundtrack, that was a choice. But I mean, maybe it's a good song.
Yeah,
I already know. I felt this album was gonna be poppy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have Ava Max, we have Dua Lipa, we have Charlie XCX. I'm excited for them. We have Haim. And then we have then we have like the rap. We have Ice Spice, we have Nicki Minaj, we have Carol G, we have
Khalid's not rap. That's
more pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. And it's all produced by Mark Ronson, which I do like.
He is really good.
Yeah. So it's just like I think
he's gonna be funky. It's gonna be funky.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I already heard a sample of the Nicki Minaj song, and I'm like, yes, like of course you have to be. It's Barbie.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, hey, I'm all in on everybody except for one. So yeah, I mean, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm excited.
He's gonna make the album cost more than it should.
What do you mean?
Because of the Chinese food place we went to.
Yeah, for real. You know what, Lizzo? Let's fight, me and you. Let's go.
Listen,
fight night. Okay?
Listen, we cannot be Lizzo
12 rounds.
12 rounds.
12 rounds, boxing gloves, me and you. I got beef with Lizzo for ruining my favorite Chinese food spot and ruining The Mandalorian.
She didn't ruin The Mandalorian. Yes, no, she didn't.
She comes just puts her fingers on everything and just ruins it.
She like knighted Grogu. What are you talking about? She had purpose.
Grogu didn't need to be knighted. Grogu was already a Jedi to begin with.
Grogu is a knighted Jedi.
Lizzo just keep paws off
Mandalorian.
Okay.
Grogu is a knighted Jedi and Mandalorian, knighted because of Lizzo. Mans is 50, and he's already a knighted Jedi and Mandalorian.
Stay away, Lizzo. Lizzo is what I like.
Stay away from her. Get a job.
Get a job. Stay away, okay? We don't want you around Barbie. We don't want you around The Mandalorian. We don't want you around my favorite Chinese food spot. Former favorite Chinese food spot.
Did you find another one?
Yeah, but it's not.
I think I found one here in San Diego.
Pots and Woks is like unbeatable.
I know.
Pots and Woks when it first opened, unbeatable Chinese food.
There was 3 plates and you get a 4th one free for $20, you guys. It was It was breakfast, lunch, and dinner
And you
and
spent
dessert.
$20 just on one.
And now you have to pay like, yeah, you have to pay like $18.
Yeah.
And you can't even mix and match the vegan options, which respect to the vegans, but like, come on.
Yeah.
What if I want some vegan? I know it defeats the purpose, but like, I want to taste it. What if I want some damn vegan with my meat?
No, yeah, but to circle back to the Barbie news sound, the Barbie album lineup, overall,
Pretty exciting album. It's gonna win Grammy. It's gonna win, album of the year for sure.
you
Um,
think so? Because I don't
the
think I don't.
movie's gonna win an Oscar. It's gonna be Best Picture.
I predicted that. I
You
called
did.
that
You
back in
called
like
it out. Yeah,
February,
you did say
saying
that
that
a couple.
this is
Like
a
I think
sleeper. No, everybody's sleeping on Barbie.
I
I
feel like
think
everyone is gonna, but bro, like it's gonna. What if it's gonna be neck and neck? It's gonna be Oppenheimer and Barbie as like the two contestants of the
imagine,
Oscars.
and because James Cameron is petty, a re-release of Avatar, and
If he releases another movie, I swear,
he is doing like 4 sequels to Avatar, but the dude hates
so annoying.
sequels.
Also, but
Um,
like almost everybody you talk to now is like sick of the Way of Water.
the way of what they're a family is this fortress. But yeah, I'm all in for this what you call it,
July 21st or
album.
June 21st.
July 21st. The album
When is Barbie releasing?
available
July?
yeah, July. I think the 31st. So I think this is gonna be a week and a half ahead.
Oh my God, hang
But
on. Let me look it up. I want to make sure.
same day as Oppenheimer.
Dude,
I,
that's
th- I think
crazy.
we
July
agreed to do a
21st. July 21st. Yeah, it's going to release the same day as the movie does.
I think did we commit to ourselves to doing a double feature?
We did, but like,
Better
oh
like
my God, I'm
down.
scared. I'm just like,
We're releasing Barbie first for spoiler.
we have to see Barbie
Yeah, but
first,
no, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I'm all in except for Lizzo. That's my biggest complaint.
bro.
No, I will not get over it. You're gonna ask why, Adam? Why do you hate Lizzo? Let me explain it again for those of you who don't know. Lizzo went and ruined my favorite Chinese food spot, and then she went and ruined The Mandalorian, and now she's ruining Barbie. So this is
No.
3 strikes, you're out, Lizzo. You had 1 strike. You went ahead and just ruined Barbie.
Really say three strikes you're out,
Yeah,
Lizzo?
yeah. 3 strikes, you're out, Lizzo. We don't want you around here. Stay away from movies. Stay away from
This
The
is his
Mandalorian.
choice to
No,
say. On the
no,
other
no,
hand,
no,
on
no,
me, I
no,
do love Lizzo.
no.
I almost saw her. I'm not gonna lie. This past weekend, she came down to San Diego.
You're fired.
I was supposed to go, but I ended up seeing Tableau instead.
It's a good choice. You are rehired.
Oh my God! Listen,
Fired and rehired on the same.
I lost my voice on Thursday night a week ago today. No, on Thursday. No, it's already gonna be a week. But literally on Thursday, I lost my voice. I didn't get it back until like Sunday, and even then too, I sounded pretty hoarse. Today, I think I sound slightly better, and it's freaking Wednesday.
I feel like you sound normal.
I felt like there's like
You can
a
feel. I
little-
know. I get what you mean. You sound normal, but it what you call it. Yeah.
in my head, it sounds like I sound like someone else,
Yeah.
and I'm like, did my voice get deeper? Am I getting older? Whoa, crazy!
I love the whole deeper voice when you lose your voice after.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's
remember,
like, oh,
do you remember when I texted you after WrestleMania where I was just like,
yeah.
oh, my voice is so raspy from all the yelling I've done the last days. I was like, I hope it lasts till
I
we
hope,
record
yeah,
the
like you
episode.
mature your vocal cords, and you're like, this
Yeah.
is who I am.
I was like,
I am a man now.
I'm a man, damn it. But no, yeah, but no seriousness. Obviously, I don't have beef against this, so even though I do, you know,
He's a liar.
Lizzo, I got beef, Lizzo. I got beef. If you want to come on the podcast, I'll happily invite you on and talk about this beef about you ruining my favorite Chinese food spot.
Please come on the podcast, Liz. So this is an open invitation for you to join on the podcast and talk about your role in the Mandalorian and how you made that show better.
No. Let's end the episode here. Let's end it here. All right, though. In all seriousness, though, guys, this has been episode 119. Again, if you have made it to this far in the episode, definitely do not subscribe to us on YouTube. Do not. subscribe to youtube.com/@ourrealaddiction. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't follow us on Instagram @ourrealaddiction and on Twitter @ourrealpod. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't follow us on TikTok @ourrealaddiction. Definitely do not share this episode if you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And definitely do not like the video on YouTube. Don't give it a thumbs up. Do not hit the notification bell. Don't do it. Do not
This
do
is
it.
getting me worried. Please do the opposite of all of that.
Do
But in your
not
head, do
do it.
without
Don't do it.
do it.
Don't do it, but do it. But yeah, guys, this is going to conclude the episode. We will see you again on Friday, or you'll hear us again on Friday. But I think that's going to wrap it up. As always, I'm Adam.
And I'm Miguel.
And this is Our Real Addiction, Sic Parvis Magna.
Sic Parvis Magna.